Y'all know Brian got a big old head. So anyway, I was probably 6 or 7 years old in Shreveport, visiting grandmother and grandfather, and we went to see Uncle Grover. And I saw his big old head, and I was trying to be nice, because I was only like 6 or 7 years old. And I said, Daddy, Uncle Grover looked just like you, except his head. And Daddy said, it's fuller. I said, yeah, that's it. His head's fuller. So Uncle Grover had a fuller head. And I believe Uncle Grover had all girls, didn't he? Didn't he have any boys? And one boy. Right, okay. He had all those girls and one boy. Then Uncle John came along. That was the second born son to Willie and Effie. And I remember meeting Uncle John.
Hello.
And Uncle John
Try this.
was quite dark skinned. And being a 6-year-old, I looked at him and said, man, my skin is light and Uncle John's skin is black. So I said, Daddy, how come Uncle John's skin so dark if he's your brother? And Daddy said, oh, he's a roofer. He work out in the sun all the time. So that worked for a 6, 7-year-old. So I said, okay. Uncle John was just dark because he worked in the sun all the time. Then the third born in that Scannell clan was a gentleman by the name of Willie Scannell, Willie Lee Scannell, or Jr. And so when we would go down the Shreveport, David and I, they called him Bill. Our grandmother called him Bill. And we said, Bill? Who is Bill? And then all of my cousins would say, Uncle Bill. And David and I look at each other, who the hell is Uncle Bill? I know, Bill, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to use the H-E double hockey stick. Who the heck is Bill? And so grandmother referred to Daddy as Bill, which is, we found out later in life, is short for Will and Willie. You call people Bill that are named Will? Yeah, Willie. So we figured out who Uncle Bill was. So Uncle Bill currently resides in Kansas City / Independence. And Uncle Grover is deceased and Uncle John is deceased. They both were residents of Shreveport. So after Willie was born, the first girl came along, Aunt Dorothy. And I'm pretty sure she got whipped all the time, because Aunt Dorothy is just something else. If y'all don't know Aunt Dorothy, whew, I'm sure she got in trouble all the time. Then after Aunt Dorothy, Aunt Catherine was born. And so Aunt Dorothy and Aunt Catherine both still live in Shreveport. Aunt Dorothy never had any children, but she had 1,000 children. She was in the school system in Shreveport.
Captain Shreve.
And everybody knew Aunt Dorothy. I met a lady I was working with at BP that was from Shreveport, and she knew her mother and Aunt Dorothy were best friends, I found out. And then Aunt Catherine has 3, right there? She's got, or 4. She's got 4. She's got 3 girls and 1 boy. Something about the 1 boy. And so, some of you may not know, after Aunt Catherine, there was another brother that was born. Did you all know that? His name was Wallace. And so Wallace died at an early age. How old was he then? Probably. So Uncle Wallace died when he was 6 years old. And so we never got a chance to meet Uncle Wallace. Daddy, before Uncle Wallace passed, Daddy shot him in the head with the BB gun. And he just confessed that, what, last year, Daddy? He confessed and his soul is at peace. Who did you shoot, Uncle Nay? I'm sorry, he shot Uncle Nay in the head. He said, I wonder if this BB can reach that far. Shot Uncle Nay. Uncle Nay didn't even know what hit him.
That's why I have nothing up there. Inside or outside.
And so after Uncle Wallace was born, this gentleman came along named Napoleon Bonaparte Scanner, Uncle Nay.
That's me, boy. Just in case you don't know, that's me. Napoleon Bonaparte Scandal.
And so Uncle Nay was a Navy man. I don't know if y'all knew that. So,
No, Marine Corps.
well, he was Navy man. You had them bell-bottom pants on. Oh, I'm sorry, Marine. I didn't mean to insult you, Jarhead.
Oh,
I love you too.
So I remember the first time I met Uncle Nay, I said, Daddy, Uncle Nay looked like a little you. And Daddy, so we had Uncle Grover with the big head and little bitty Uncle Nay, there was a kind of a smaller size of Daddy. And just as crazy as Daddy. So Uncle Nay's residing in Atlanta area. And then after Uncle Nay was the last baby girl and the last child that was born, Bertha Jean. Did y'all know her name was Bertha Jean? Aunt Jeannie. And so Aunt Jeannie recently passed away
In Las Vegas.
in Las Vegas. And so that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scandals came from Willie and Effie Scandal. And so we've still got Aunt Dorothy, Aunt Catherine, Willie, and Uncle Nay still with us. So,
And just to add to that, we're all in our 80s, all 4 of us.
so we got 81,
I'm 81,
and then Aunt Catherine is what, 84?
84,
84.
Dorothy's 86.
Dorothy's 86, and Willow's 89. So,
Right, Willie?
so as you can see,
320
they range from 89 to 81. So there's some old boogers.
We love you too.
I know. So, hopefully you learned something from the history of the scandals. David opened up with a word of prayer that please don't lose your history, and please, as the generations, we all reach the end of our lifetime, and the new generation becomes the leaders in the family, and you're the ones that are going to be here and left. Please hold on to the tradition. If you don't understand your history, you won't know where you came from. So with that, I'll turn it back to our MC.
Well said.
all right.
Well said.
Okay, up next we have my grandma, and her name is Phyllis Gale. The poem.
Okay, inside voice, inside voice.
Thank you, young man. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Hello.
I do want to point out that it would be a good time to invest in Bengay. The stock market will go up as of tonight. Where's Shani Shan at?
Did you see the time put her all up?
Okay, my sister Allison called me kind of at a short notice, asked me could I write a poem. I told her that I would try.
Oh, the closer.
However, I didn't get a chance to write the poem. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to speak, kind of go back over the history of when we began. So we actually got together. I remember the day that Daddy pointed out to us that he wanted us to form a club, and because he wanted something to be carried on when him and Mom passed away. So at that point, we formed the S Club. Do anyone know the year that the S Club was formed? Go ahead.
It's formed in 1984 with our first reunion in 85.
Okay. What year did you say?
Now, if that answer is any, that's any truthfulness, I thought I had something. I'm well off because '84 I was just born. So I think I'm going to pass on that. I was honestly going to say I thought this was about 90.
Okay, you say 90? Anybody else? Say, okay. So the S Club, and I don't know. I was hoping you guys could tell me.
We just talked.
I know well because I began it.
Okay, so I had it calculated at 95, so I knew 22 years was not long enough. So with 1985, that would make the S Club 32 years old.
Yeah.
About 11.
Okay, so I remember our first reunion, and it was at a hotel where Daddy worked down. It was down in downtown Kansas City, and I remember one particular incident that happened, and Alice probably remember this very well. This was back in our partying days, because the Scanos could party. I mean, we partied. You young people have nothing on us. I mean, we start in on a Thursday and then stop till Monday morning.
So true, grandkids, so true.
So this particular day, at the family reunion, I think Daddy was a little on full. Well, a couple of them was on full, the younger ones probably was too. And grandfather was in a wheelchair, and someone pulled the wheelchair back, and it ran over Daddy's foot. And Daddy sat there with the wheelchair on his foot saying, "You're on my foot!" He never moved the wheelchair. "You're on my foot!" And grandfather looking around like, who's on his foot? So he yelled out a couple of times. And that's, we have it on tape. So if anybody want to actually see that, Alice actually has that on tape, and it is hilarious. Okay, so we're moving on, and that was 1985. What was our first colors for the S Club? Go ahead.
Red and white.
You got it. Okay, so. Yes.
Well, from you said 1985. Well, I was too young to remember that. But anyway, I don't never remember red being in the colors at all since I've been born.
Yeah.
You were too young.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was 6 months.
Okay, so that was 1985, and we had it was family reunion to remember. So as time went on, we started having the S Club meetings, and and to form this group, the S Club, to make it as successful as it is today, it took a lot of blood, sweat, tears, fighting, getting out of cars, slamming doors, leaving the building, calling each other the next day, apologizing. We went through it. But we went through a lot of love, hugs, kissing, telling each other how we love one another, and through it all, we was a family that wasn't very close at that point. We didn't know that through it all, we were bonding. And what we was doing was making a puzzle fit. We was finding our place in the family where each of us played a role. And thank you. You want to come stand here? Each of us played a role, and then we formed that puzzle to fit. So it wasn't easy for our mom and dad, the 10 brothers and sisters, to get together and to form the S Club. It was not easy. We had a lot of different opinions. We had the strong ones running over the weak ones calling the stronger ones, sicking them on the other one. You know, she said this about you last night. You need to get them, but, and you didn't know that they was planning to say what they really wanted to say. But through it all, we formed a family that we ended up being a very, very, very close family. And we didn't know this, that when we were kids, at Christmas time, we didn't get a lot of gifts. We didn't get a lot of single toys. Mom always bought board games for us. So with the board games, it caused us to become closer because we had to learn how to play together. We had to learn how to share. We had to learn how to look after one another. We took up for one another. We was there for one another through learning how to play together through board games. So those games where you are on the computer and you're working, those video games, those are isolation games. It's teaching you to be a loner and stand alone, and you cannot function in this world today trying to do it alone. We all need somebody to walk with us. So I'm going to encourage the younger people, please put down your cell phones at this time. The things that you normally do, every day when you're at home, I want you to set it aside for this moment. Let's give it our undivided attention. Let's do it different this time. Let's pay attention to what's going on. Because we're going to pass this torch to you all. And we want you all to be better at it than us. Okay? We put the blood, sweat, and the tears into it. We need for you all to carry it. So at this point, now I'm going to go back to bonding. So during the fact of us forming the S Club, we didn't know that our dad was bringing us together. And I think that was his secret way to bring us together as a family, to bond as brothers and sisters, when he asked us to form the S Club. And through it all of us bonding, through what Daddy asked us to create, we've been tested. We've been tested severely as brothers and sisters. And I can say this right now. I have never in my life witnessed a stronger bond between 10 brothers and sisters than I do with my brothers and sisters. I don't know if there's a family that exists that the bond is any stronger than what we have. And we go through it with one another. We have brothers that right now are a little down on their luck. But you know what? We love them through it. We love them through it. My family loved me through my time.
Amen.
You know, it was my family. It was my family that brought me through. You know, I would hear my sister praying for me. That's how God will, he will let you know when people are praying for you. And you cannot do this by yourself. You cannot walk this world thinking you can do it by yourself. You can't. You have to lean on one another. You have to become closer. So I'm going to encourage the younger mothers and fathers to start buying board games and have your Sunday night dinner. Sit at the dinner table, have dinner, and then bond with your family and play some board games. And let that tradition that our parents started with us pass down to you and bring your family close to you. The reason why these kids are being killed out on the streets is because the streets have them. The streets are their parents. Your kids are going to listen to somebody. They're going to listen to a judge, a parole officer, a prison guard, somebody out on the streets. They're going to listen to somebody. Don't just hand your children over to those streets. Don't worry about trying to please your children, trying to be their friends. They don't need a friend. They need a parent.
That's right.
A mother and a father. And guess what? That comes with sometimes them not liking you.
Amen.
But they may not get it at this time, but they will get it when it's time for them to get it. So I didn't want to turn this into a preaching session, but I wanted to just reach out to the younger generation and just let you know that we didn't always have it together like this. We didn't. We are, my brothers and sisters, like I said, we were some partying animals. We partied. But we got it together.
That's true, Dad.
No, you was the ringleader. You was the ringleader of the party. Your parties was always at your house. So.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I'm just playing with her. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Hey, but I ran with that. Not only did I do that,
but she took good care of us.
together.
The parties was at our house. Let me clear that up. The parties was at our house because that was my big sister's way of taking care of us. She took very, very, very good care of us.
All right.
Both of my big sisters, Chantel and Denise, they took very good care of us. For that, I'm on the table. So, before I wrap it up, I want to go ahead and I want to just kind of point out, going to my brothers and sisters, because I don't know how much time I have left on this earth. So I'm going to take this moment right now, and I'm going to say what I need to say to my brothers and sisters. I'm going to start with my oldest sister, Chantel. You are probably one of the strongest people in the family, and I don't think you know it. You went through a period with me, and I saw your strength. And I'll tell you about that at one point. But I saw how strong you are. You are very, very strong. And so when God said, I will not put more on you than you can bear, the reason why he's put things on you is because he knows your strength. You have to come and know your strength. You have to come and know who you are. And come and know the strength that you have. You are a beautiful person because through it all, you have kept your peace. I admire you for the way that you walked. How you walked your journey and how you carried yourself. And how you carried yourself as a humble woman. And I want to thank you for that. Vincent. Vincent, and I'll let him give him a moment to sit down. Vincent is the scandal brother that I look up to because he gives me a reality check when I'm kind of being nasty toward one of my brothers and sisters. Because no matter what they go through, Vincent loves through it all, and he is there through it all. I'm like, what do you mean he paid that? What do you mean he just extended his heart for that? You know, and it gives me that reality check to say, you know what? Through it all, do whatever they're doing, love them. And he is the strength, the source of my strength that keeps me loving when I don't sometimes want to. And I look up for him and I reach out to that part in him to keep me going. And what I'm saying to you guys is the part of all of my brothers and sisters that I have grasped to make me the person I am today. My brother, I'm going to go to my sister, Denise. My sister, Denise, we was the ones that we didn't always see eye to eye. We bumped heads a lot. And then it took a while for me to get it. My sister was so used to taking care of me and taking care of us that she could not stand to let us go. She didn't like to, she saw us as her younger brothers and sisters, even though we were grown. And she took care. My sister right now, it is nothing that you can call her for that she won't do.
Yeah, that's right.
She is a strong rock in the family. She is there for everybody in the family. You know, and for that, I want to thank Denise, because it's been times I just said some stuff to her, and I know she's gone, and she's right there with me the next day, and I'm like, what? And I want to thank you for that, for never turning your back on me, even though I probably would have turned my back on me for some of the things I've said and done to you, and I thank you for that. My brother David. David is the source of my strength that I always needed for guidance. David helped guide me on my journey to become who I am. Because I knew that if David pointed something out to me, that I respect his opinion so much that I knew if he pointed something out to me, that something was wrong with it. And I would go back and analyze and try to find what it is that's wrong in this situation. I leaned on him for his support. Whenever I did something, I always called on David and called him and talked with him about it. And we would talk on the phone for hours. And that was giving me my strength to keep going. A lot of times, I sucked the strength out of him in order to carry myself through situations that I had went through. My brother Gregory. My brother Gregory is the one who keeps the laughter in my life. That reminds me that I don't have to always be so serious. I'm such a serious person, and he gives me that joy. Sometimes when I realize I'm too serious, I think about, what would Gregory do at this point? And I can try to find a way to bring some laughter into my world and my joy, and bring some joy into my world. And for that, I want to thank him. He's given me that solid foundation to go to for advice. My sister Allison is just so quiet and so humble and so willing, and so she don't know what to do with herself if she's not doing something for somebody else. She's found her calling on this earth, and it's to serve. And that's exactly what she's done on this earth. And that's why last night, she didn't want any of us to help her. And what we look at it as work to her, which is, and I do want to point this out right quick. There's a difference between a job and work. A job is what you do to go make money. Work is what you do because it's your gift. And that's her gift. That's her gift, to take care of people and support people. And she gets a joy out of that, even though we don't see it like that.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
That's just who she is.
Yes, she does.
So these are just some, my dad. My dad is just quiet, doesn't really say much, but he's our dad. You know, and he's taught me to love unconditionally. You know, he's our dad. You know what I'm saying? He's just our dad. So with that, I just want to say thank you for all of my brothers and sisters that are here. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I want to say thank you. Sorry that I took too long, but like I said, I may not get a chance to ever say this to them again. So again, because of who you are is the reason why I am who I am. Thank you.
All right.
We love you.
Well, that was very inspiring, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
But try to suck up to your grandmother.
Is everybody having a good time at least?
Oh,
Nobody official speaking, so is there anybody who would like to say any last words?
I would. They cut the cake for the birthday. Should we
Oh,
say
let's
whose
sing happy
birthdays they are?
Yeah.
Should we say whose birthdays they are?
I don't know.
Can we get all the June birthdays to come up? Do we have any more June birthdays here?
So my understanding is June the 15th is Bryce's birthday. June the 16th is Austin's birthday, which is today. June the 17th is E-Ray's birthday, David Eugene Scannell. And you what, the 27th is, and 25th, Iman is the 25th. And Elijah's the 27th, and Mike is the, what do you, it was before that, right? The 12th, June the 12th, June the 20th, June the 6th, Peanut is June the 4th, Baby Brothers is the 26th.
Eric, do y'all have any June birthdays?
Any more June baby birthdays? All right, let's get ready. We're gonna sing happy. Oh, wait. Two more, one more. When's your birthday? June the 2nd.
all right.
So we're gonna sing the regular happy birthday, then we're gonna sing the Stevie Wonder version, okay? Y'all ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's do Stevie Wonder version. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy So please let the birthday people get some cake. I see some of y'all eating already. The birthday people ain't got no cake yet.
Y'all done already cut my cake. Cut the cake.
We're also going to have a talent portion of the evening. I understand Mr. Roderick's going to provide a rendition of Old Man River. He's going to do something. Where'd you go, man? Come back. Hey, sir.
Baby kid.
Baby kid.
Hello, may I get the attention of this audience? We have two gift baskets. One for my grandpa, my great-grandpa actually.
Willow.
And the other one for his brother, my Uncle Nate. That was lame, come on, say it again.
Oh, no.
Here's Uncle Nate. Say it again.
Hey, Uncle Nate.
Like the Nay.
Your legs stink. Your legs stink. Your legs stink. Your legs stink.
What'd you get, Willie?
Who?
This is what Grandpa Scannell has.
Does it have tear stains? Okay, now what?
8 times in a row.
Thank you, boy.